First contact deception. The quantum display cast an eerie blue glow across Director Elena Chen's face as she studied the incoming data streams. Deep within Titan Base, humanity's most advanced research facility, she watched as the impossible became reality. The anomaly they detected at the edge of the Kuiper Belt wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was a fleet of ships, massive beyond comprehension, moving with deliberate purpose toward Earth. Analysis confirms it, Director Dr. Raj Patel said, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. The energy signatures match nothing in our database. We're looking at approximately 300 vessels, each larger than anything humanity has ever constructed. Elena nodded, her expression remaining carefully neutral despite the weight of the moment. 20 years of leading Earth's Defense Innovation Division had prepared her for this possibility, but the reality still sent chills down her spine. How long until they reach scanner range? 72 hours at their current velocity, Raj replied, pulling up a trajectory map. They're maintaining a perfect formation that suggests highly advanced propulsion systems and coordination capabilities. Elena turned to face the assembled team of Earth's brightest minds. The underground chamber, carved from Titan's icy crust, housed the culmination of humanity's greatest technological achievements, most of which officially didn't exist. Initiative Phantom Shield is no longer a drill. People, execute as planned. Across the solar system, hidden quantum transmitters activated, sending encrypted signals to Earth's seemingly primitive satellite network. To any advanced scanning technology, Earth would appear to be a developing civilization, barely capable of basic spaceflight and nuclear power. The truth was far different. Captain Sarah Martinez stood on the bridge of the EDS Nighthawk, Earth's first quantum phase vessel, currently hidden in high orbit above Mars. The ship, along with 30 others like it, represented humanity's true space fleet, invisible, untraceable, and armed with weapons that defied conventional physics. Status report, she commanded, watching as her crew prepared for humanity's greatest deception. Quantum shroud is stable at 99.8%. Lieutenant James Wong reported from his station. The fleet remains undetectable to any known scanning technology. Earth's facade is in place. All visible satellites and stations are broadcasting appropriate power signatures for a pre-spacefaring civilization. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The aliens, whoever they were, would find exactly what humanity wanted them to see: a vulnerable planet ripe for conquest. They would have no idea that Earth had been preparing for this moment since the first hints of extraterrestrial civilizations were discovered decades ago. Back on Titan, Elena reviewed the final preparations with her team. Dr. Maya Williams, head of weapons development, presented the latest test results from Project Nova, a defensive system that could theoretically disable any known form of faster-than-light travel within the solar system. The quantum interference field is ready, Maya explained, her dark eyes bright with controlled excitement. Once activated, it will create a cascade effect through their formation. Their own perfect coordination will become their weakness. Elena studied the simulations carefully. Everything hinged on timing and maintaining the illusion of vulnerability until the perfect moment. And the rest of our surprises. The nanoswarm is primed, Dr. Viktor Koval added, his Ukrainian accent thick with pride. 5 trillion units, each smaller than a human cell, ready to infiltrate their hull systems on your command. They'll never see it coming. Humanity had learned long ago that size didn't equate to power. While other civilizations might have built bigger ships and more powerful weapons, Earth had focused on the microscopic, the quantum, the impossible spaces between conventional technology. They had turned their greatest weakness, being latecomers to the galactic stage, into their greatest strength. Begin final countdown, Elena ordered, her voice carrying the weight of 20 years of preparation. All personnel to designated positions. Remember, we show nothing until the moment of truth. Let them think they found an easy conquest. As the alien fleet drew closer, humanity waited with practiced patience. Their true fleet remained hidden, their advanced technology masked, their weapons primed but invisible. Earth appeared as it had for centuries, a blue marble suspended in space, seemingly defenseless against the approaching armada. The greatest trap in human history was set, and the bait was Earth itself. Soon, their visitors would learn why humanity had survived countless extinction-level events, why they had risen from caves to touch the stars in a mere blink of cosmic time. They would learn that appearances could be deceiving, and that sometimes the most dangerous predator was the one that looked like prey. In 72 hours, the galaxy would learn a vital lesson about underestimating humanity. Elina Chen smiled as she gave the final authorization codes. The trap was set, and the hunters were about to become the hunted. The silent strike. High Admiral Vexthor of the Galactic Hegemony stood on the command deck of the Eternal Dominion, his scaled hands clasped behind his back as he observed the approaching blue planet. His mandibles clicked in amusement at the primitive satellites cluttering its orbit. The scans showed exactly what their advanced probes had reported: a species barely capable of reaching their own moon, still reliant on chemical rockets and crude nuclear fission. Another simple integration. Admiral. Sub-Commander Zira noted, her crystalline eyes scanning the tactical displays. Their most advanced weapons couldn't penetrate our tertiary shields. Begin standard contact procedures, Vexthor ordered, already imagining how this victory would advance his standing in the hegemony. Show them our might. Let them understand the futility of resistance. As the massive fleet moved into formation around Earth, Director Elina Chen watched from Titan Base with calculated patience. The alien vessels had arranged themselves in the exact pattern their simulations had predicted, the perfect hexagonal grid designed to maximize their shield coverage and weapons overlap. They're broadcasting their demands, Dr. Raj Patel reported, his fingers flying across the quantum interface. Standard superiority display. Holographic projections of their fleet visible from Earth's surface. Translations in every major language. Time to show them our response, Elina said quietly. She opened a secure channel to Captain Martinez. Nighthawk Actual, you have authorization to proceed with Phase 1. In the void between Mars and Earth, the EDS Nighthawk and its sister ships remained perfectly invisible, their quantum shrouds making them undetectable to even the most advanced hegemony sensors. Captain Sarah Martinez took a deep breath as she gave the order that would change everything. Deploy the nanoswarm. Across the solar system, trillion of microscopic machines activated, each one carrying a fraction of humanity's revenge. Too small to trigger standard defensive screens, they flowed through the hegemony fleet like a silent tide, infiltrating through thermal vents and microscopic stress fractures in their hull plating. On the Eternal Dominion's bridge, the first warning signs were subtle. Minor power fluctuations, slight delays in system responses, anomalous readings that disappeared too quickly to track. By the time Vexthor realized something was wrong, it was already too late. Multiple systems reporting failures across the fleet, Zira announced, her usual calm cracking as more red indicators appeared on her display. Shield harmonics are destabilizing. Weapons systems going offline. Impossible, we're being attacked. Vexthor's mandibles clacked in agitation. Attacked? By what? There are no enemy vessels, no weapons fire. He turned to his tactical officer. Show me these primitives' orbital defenses. The holographic display flickered to life, showing Earth's crude satellites and space stations. But as they watched, the images began to change. The seemingly primitive structures shimmered and transformed, quantum shrouds falling away to reveal their true nature. By the first ones, Zira whispered, her crystalline eyes wide with shock. Those aren't communications satellites. Dr. Maya Williams stood in Titan Base's control center, watching as Project Nova activated. The quantum interference field sprang to life, invisible tendrils of energy connecting Earth's hidden defense network. The field expanded exponentially, each node amplifying the others until it encompassed the entire hegemony fleet. Quantum cascade initiated, she reported, her voice steady despite the historic moment. Their formation is working against them. Each ship's shield frequency is amplifying our attack on the others. In space, the mighty hegemony vessels began to drift, their perfect formation breaking apart as system after system failed. The nanoswarm had done its work perfectly, creating microscopic quantum receivers throughout their hulls. Now, Earth's true defense grid could target each ship with precision impossible by conventional means. This is Director Elena Chen of the Earth Defense Force. Elena's voice broadcasted across every hegemony frequency, translated perfectly into their language. Your arrogance has led you into a trap. Your technology is impressive, but predictable. While you look down on us as primitives, we studied you, learned you, surpassed you. On the Eternal Dominion's bridge, Vexthor watched in growing horror as his mighty fleet became helpless, trapped in an invisible web of energy that defied everything he thought he knew about physics and warfare. Impossible, he hissed. No primitive species could develop such technology without us detecting it. That was your first mistake. Elena's voice continued, calm and assured. Assuming that bigger meant better, that obvious power was the only kind that mattered. Humanity has spent its entire history fighting against forces greater than itself. We learned long ago that the clever wolf defeats the mighty bear not through strength, but through cunning. The hegemony fleet hung powerless in space, their mighty engines silent, their weapons dead, their communications limited to what Earth allowed them to use. They had come expecting an easy conquest and found themselves caught in humanity's web. But Elena Chen knew this was just the beginning. The hegemony would not accept this defeat easily. They would send more ships, bigger ships, thinking that quantity could overwhelm humanity's technological advantage. She smiled grimly as she gave the order to proceed with Phase 2. They had planned for that as well. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy exactly what they were capable of when pushed too far. Counterattack. The Hegemony High Council chamber on Centaurus Prime erupted in chaos as the footage from Earth played across their neural networks. The defeat of Admiral Vexthor's fleet, one of the largest invasion forces ever assembled, had sent shockwaves through their civilization. For the first time in 10,000 years, the hegemony faced a species that had not only resisted them, but had systematically dismantled their most advanced fleet. This is unprecedented, Councillor Krasnak thundered, his bioluminescent patterns flashing with rage. These humans must have had help. No species develops quantum manipulation technology without going through our approved technological progression. Supreme Overseer Kylith raised a crystalline appendage for silence. We have already dispatched the first strike fleet. 500 capital ships, our most advanced weapons. These humans will learn the price of defiance. But on Earth, this response had been anticipated, planned for, and already countered. Director Elena Chen stood in the newly revealed Strategic Command Center beneath the Pacific Ocean, watching real-time quantum feeds from sensors throughout the solar system. The captured hegemony vessels from the first battle had provided invaluable intelligence about their civilization's response protocols. They're exactly as rigid in their thinking as we hoped, she remarked to Dr. Victor Koval, who was finalizing the targeting solutions for their next phase. They see superior numbers as the answer to everything. Their reinforcement fleet is larger, Captain Sarah Martinez noted from her holographic projection. The Nighthawk and its sister ships had taken up positions throughout the asteroid belt, invisible sentinels waiting to spring the next trap. But they haven't changed their basic tactical approach. Because they can't, Dr. Maya Williams interjected, her hands manipulating a complex quantum simulation. Their entire civilization is built on technological standardization. Innovation is literally bred out of their species. They see our quantum technology as an anomaly to be overwhelmed, not a fundamental challenge to their superiority. Elena nodded, studying the strategic display. Then let's show them how humanity fights when we have the initiative. Execute Operation Thunderstrike. Across the solar system, Humanity's hidden forces sprang into action. The nanoswarm from the first battle had done more than just disable the hegemony fleet. It had replicated, using their own ships as raw material. Now, trillions upon trillions of microscopic machines waited in the asteroid belt, each one carrying a fraction of Earth's retribution. The hegemony First Strike Fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, their ships arranged in layers of geometric precision. Supreme Fleet Commander Revan stood confidently on his bridge, watching as his sensors detected Earth's defensive grid. "Their technology is impressive," he admitted, "but nothing can stand against the combined might of 500 capital ships. Prepare to." His orders were cut short as space itself seemed to ripple around his fleet. The asteroids they had dismissed as natural debris suddenly revealed their true nature. Each one was a quantum focal point, part of a vast web that made the first trap look like a primitive snare. Multiple quantum signatures detected. His sensor officer screamed. "They're everywhere. The asteroids themselves air." The entire asteroid belt came alive with energy. Humanity's quantum technology had evolved beyond simple disruption. Now they could manipulate the fundamental forces of reality itself. Gravity waves twisted and bent, targeting specific ships with precision that defied conventional physics. Vessels at the heart of the hegemony formation found themselves crushed by forces their shields were never designed to resist, while others were torn apart by localized space-time distortions. On Earth, Dr. Maya Williams watched her theories become reality. Quantum gravity manipulation is stable. The asteroids are performing exactly as calculated. Their standardized shield configurations can't adapt to targeted gravitational attacks. But this was just the beginning. Captain Martins and the stealth fleet made their move, appearing from quantum shadows to launch attacks that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The Nighthawk and its companions could partially phase out of normal spacetime, allowing them to bypass shields entirely. "This is humanity's response to your ultimatum," Elena's voice broadcasted across the hegemony command channels. "You thought we would be an easy conquest, a primitive species to be absorbed into your empire. Instead, you found a civilization that had been preparing for this moment, studying your weaknesses, developing technologies you never imagined possible." The hegemony fleet's perfect formation had devolved into chaos. Their rigid tactical doctrine had no protocols for dealing with an enemy that could manipulate gravity itself, that could phase through their strongest shields, that seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at once. "You believe that strength comes from size, from numbers, from standardization," Elena continued, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's determination. "We believe it comes from innovation, from adaptation, from the willingness to try what others claim is impossible." Supreme Fleet Commander Revan watched in horror as his mighty armada was systematically dismantled by forces he couldn't even properly detect, let alone fight. The humans weren't just defeating them, they were revolutionizing warfare itself. But in the depths of space, something even more terrifying was stirring. The hegemony's defeat was about to trigger protocols that hadn't been activated in millennia. The real test of humanity's preparations was about to begin. The turning point. Deep within the quantum-shielded chambers of Titan Base, Director Elena Chen studied the latest intelligence with growing concern. The quantum sensors humanity had secretly seeded throughout nearby star systems were detecting something unprecedented. The hegemony was activating their ancient world ships, massive vessels that hadn't moved in thousands of years. "They're really doing it," Dr. Raj Patel whispered, his eyes fixed on the quantum feed. "They're waking the World Forge fleet." The World Forge fleet was more than just ships. They were mobile construction facilities the size of small moons, capable of producing entire armadas. The hegemony had used them during their initial expansion era, but they had been dormant since achieving galactic dominance. Their reactivation was a sign of desperation and escalation. "How many?" Elena asked, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. 3 world ships detected so far," Captain Sarah Martinez reported via quantum link from the Nighthawk. Each one carries enough automated production capacity to build a fleet larger than what we've faced so far. They'll reach the solar system in approximately 72 hours. Dr. Maya Williams stepped forward, her quantum simulation displays showing multiple potential scenarios. Our current defensive strategies won't be sufficient against this level of threat. The world ship's construction facilities can adapt and evolve their designs based on combat data. They'll be building ships specifically designed to counter our quantum technology. Elena nodded, having anticipated this possibility. Then it's time for Phase Omega. Dr. Koval, is Project Singularity ready? Victor Koval's hologram appeared in the chamber, his face grave but determined. The quantum singularity drive is operational, but untested in actual combat conditions. If it works, it will change everything. If it fails, he left the implications unspoken. Project Singularity represented humanity's ultimate weapon, and their greatest gamble. While the hegemony had mastered the manipulation of normal space, humanity had been working on something far more ambitious: controlled quantum singularities that could be used to rewrite the local laws of physics themselves. Begin the evacuation of all non-essential personnel from the outer bases, Elena ordered. Captain Martinez, deploy the stealth fleet in the Kuiper Belt. Dr. Williams, activate all quantum nodes in the asteroid belt. We're going to show them why humanity never stops innovating, even in victory. As the massive world ships approached, humanity's forces prepared for their greatest test. The hegemony had existed for so long that they had forgotten what it meant to face true extinction. Humanity, on the other hand, had evolved under the constant threat of annihilation. From nature, from themselves, and now from the stars. The first signs of the hegemony's new strategy appeared at the edges of the solar system. Swarms of automated probes, each one carrying advanced scanning equipment, began mapping Earth's defensive grid in detail. They were followed by waves of experimental drone ships, each designed slightly different, testing humanity's responses. They're learning, Dr. Williams observed, watching as the quantum sensors tracked the probes. These designs show more innovation in the last hour than we've seen from them in all previous encounters. But they're still thinking like the hegemony, Elena replied, a slight smile playing at her lips. They see our quantum technology as a problem to be solved, a barrier to be overcome. They don't understand that we've been holding back our true capabilities. The moment of truth came as the world ships entered the outer solar system. Each one was a city-sized complex of factories and shipyards, already beginning to construct new vessels designed specifically to counter Earth's known defenses. Their massive forms distorted space itself with their gravity wells, creating natural shields that would protect them from conventional quantum attacks. Elena watched as the first wave of new hegemony ships emerged from the world ship's construction base. They were sleek, adaptive vessels with layered quantum-resistant shields and weapons designed to disrupt Earth's defense grid. In any other circumstance, they would have been nearly unstoppable. All units, execute Operation Singularity, Elena commanded, her voice carrying across all quantum channels. Show them why humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our willingness to redefine what's possible. Across the solar system, hidden quantum nodes activated in perfect synchronization. But instead of targeting the hegemony fleet directly, they began to create something unprecedented, controlled tiers in the fabric of space-time itself. The asteroid belt, which had seemed like a simple collection of quantum weapon platforms, revealed its true purpose as a massive quantum singularity generation system. The hegemony commanders watched in horror as their carefully designed countermeasures proved useless against an attack that didn't just bypass their defenses, but ignored the conventional laws of physics entirely. Humanity hadn't just mastered quantum technology. They had learned to rewrite reality itself within limited spaces. But even as the battle reached its climax, Elena knew that this would be more than just another victory. The hegemony's response to this defeat would determine not just the fate of Earth, but the future of the galaxy itself. The final confrontation was approaching, and with it, a chance to reshape the cosmic order forever. Victory's price. The quantum singularity field rippled across the solar system like a wave of unreality, bending space and time in ways that defied conventional physics. In the command center of Titan Base, Director Elena Chen watched as humanity's ultimate weapon reshaped the battlefield. The massive hegemony worldships, for all their ancient power, found themselves trapped in pockets of altered spacetime, where their own laws of physics worked against them. Quantum singularity field is stable, Dr. Victor Koval reported, his hands dancing across the holographic controls. Local spacetime distortions are contained within predicted parameters. The world ships can't escape. But victory, Elena knew, would require more than just superior technology. The hegemony had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. They wouldn't accept defeat without unleashing every weapon at their disposal. Supreme Overseer Silith's image appeared across all communication channels, his crystalline form radiating fury and desperation. You dare to challenge the natural order of the galaxy. The hegemony has guided civilization since before your species learned to make fire. And that's exactly why you're losing, Elena responded, her voice calm but firm. You've forgotten how to adapt, how to evolve. You've been standing still for so long that you mistake motion for chaos. The world ship's production facilities were working at maximum capacity, churning out ships designed to operate in the distorted physics of the quantum singularity field. But each new design was met with an immediate counter as humanity's quantum AI systems evolved their strategies in real time. Captain Sarah Martinez's voice crackled through the quantum comm. Director, we're detecting massive energy buildups in the world ships. They're preparing to initiate some kind of emergency protocol. Dr. Maya Williams' eyes widened as she analyzed the readings. They're going to attempt a synchronized hyperspace jump. If all three world ships jump simultaneously within the quantum singularity field, they'll tear a hole in space-time itself. Elena finished. They're willing to risk destroying the entire solar system rather than accept defeat. The tension in the command center reached a fever pitch as the world ship's energy signatures continued to build. The hegemony had revealed their true nature. They would rather destroy everything than admit their time had passed. All units, execute Final Protocol Omega, Elena commanded. Captain Martinez, move the stealth fleet into position. Dr. Koval, prepare to initiate quantum fold. What happened next would be debated in scientific circles for centuries to come. As the world ships initiated their desperate hyperspace jump, humanity's quantum singularity field didn't try to stop them. Instead, it guided them, using their own energy to create something unprecedented. The fabric of space-time folded in on itself, creating a quantum tunnel that connected all three world ships in a closed loop. Their hyperspace jump, instead of tearing apart the solar system, trapped them in an eternal moment between moments. By all the ancient laws, Kylith's voice trembled as he witnessed his mighty world ships frozen in quantum stasis. What have you done? We've given you exactly what you wanted, Elena replied. Perfect, unchanging order. The world ships will remain in that quantum loop, a monument to the price of stagnation. But for the rest of the hegemony, we offer a choice. Through the quantum networks, Elena broadcast images of Earth's true civilization, not just their military might, but their endless drive to innovate, to question, to evolve. You can continue to fight us, to throw your ships against our defenses until there's nothing left of your empire. Or you can remember what it means to grow, to change, to embrace the uncertainty that drives all true progress. The response came not from Kylith, but from thousands of worlds across the hegemony. Species that had been bound by rigid protocols for millennia saw in humanity's victory a chance to remember their own forgotten potential. The quantum stasis of the world ships became a symbol, a warning against the dangers of believing that power meant never having to adapt. In the years that followed, humanity didn't seek to replace the hegemony's empire with one of their own. Instead, they offered something more valuable: partnership in exploration and innovation. The quantum technologies that had won the war became tools for bringing life to dead worlds, for healing damaged ecosystems, for pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Elena stood at the observation window of Titan Base one last time, watching as ships from 100 worlds gathered for the first Galactic Scientific Congress. The quantum singularity field that had trapped the world ships still shimmered in the distance, a permanent reminder that true strength lay not in size or power, but in the willingness to embrace change. "Ready for the opening ceremony, Director?" Dr. Williams asked, joining her at the window. Elena smiled, thinking of how far they'd come and how far they had yet to go. "You know, Maya, I think we're all ready for what comes next. The galaxy's finally remembering how to dream again." Above them, the stars seemed to shine brighter, as if reflecting the renewed spirit of exploration and discovery that was spreading across known space. Humanity had faced their greatest challenge and emerged not just victorious, but as catalysts for a transformation that would reshape civilization itself. The war was over, but humanity's greatest contribution to the galaxy was just beginning. They had proved that the most powerful force in the universe wasn't technology or weapons, or even quantum singularities. It was the endless capacity to imagine what could be, and the courage to make those dreams reality.